The backstage hallway was dim, lit only by strips of fluorescent light that flickered every few seconds. The walls were lined with mirrors smeared by nervous fingerprints, hair products, and dreams that had sweated through too many auditions. Eli sat on a folding chair, fingers trembling around a dented plastic water bottle. The sound of the host's voice bled through the curtain, smooth, loud, and charged with the electric thrill of live television. Next up, we have a singer whose story will touch your heart. Give it up for Eli Turner. The crowd roared. Eli froze. He could feel the pulse of it, the weight of 1,000 eyes beyond that curtain, waiting. His throat constricted, dry and raw. For a moment, he wondered if he could just slip out the back door. Nobody would notice. Not really. There were hundreds of hopefuls, the show would move on. But then he looked down at the photo in his lap, a creased Polaroid of a woman with a wide grin, dimples cutting deep into her cheeks. His mom. Her hand rested on his shoulder in the picture, the other holding a microphone. It was taken after her last gig at the Harbor Street Lounge, 3 years ago, 2 months before the car crash. Sing it from the heart, she used to tell him, not for the fame, not for the stage, sing for the truth you can't speak. He pressed the photo to his chest. For you, Mom, he whispered. For you. The stagehand gave him the cue. You're up, man. Eli stood, his knees weak but his resolve sharp as glass. The curtains parted, and the stage lights hit him like a sunrise after too long in the dark. The judges sat at the front, 4 gleaming symbols of every aspiring singer's judgment and hope. There was Clara Monroe, the pop legend, Darius Cole, the ruthless producer, Juno, the viral star who'd come from nowhere, and lastly, Marcellus Grant, the veteran musician who'd retired from fame but never from truth. Eli stepped to the mic. The crowd hushed. Hey, my name's Eli Turner, he began, voice barely a whisper. This song's for my mom. It's Rihanna's, Diamonds. It was her favorite. The audience murmured softly, oh, wow, as the first piano notes began. He took a breath. The first words came out fragile, cracking like thin ice. Greater than, shine bright like a diamond. A tremor ran through him. His throat wanted to close. His mind screamed, you can't do this. Then, he saw her. In the front row, a woman with dark curls and a freckled smile, his mother's doppelganger, nodded gently, mouthing the next line. Just a stranger, but in that instant, she became something more. A ghost, a memory, a blessing. Eli's voice steadied. He closed his eyes and let the music pull him in. Greater than, find light in the beautiful sea, I choose to be happy. Every word vibrated through him, heavy with grief and love. The audience leaned in. His tone, raw, untrained but alive, broke open the room. He wasn't performing, he was confessing. The edges of Rihanna's pop anthem softened into something soulful, trembling, intimate. He reached the chorus, his voice now soaring. Greater than, we're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Clara Monroe's eyes glistened. Darius Cole, who'd been scribbling something cynical, looked up, caught off guard. Even Juno stopped filming her reaction clip. In Marcellus, he leaned forward, elbows on the table, expression unreadable. As Eli sang, flashes of his mother filled his mind. Her humming in the kitchen. Her coughing into her sleeve. Her telling him to chase the notes that scared him most. He held the last note longer than the music demanded, like he didn't want it to end. The room was silent when the piano faded. The silence stretched, heavy, sacred. Then Clara stood. Then Juno. Then Darius, hesitant, but standing. And finally, Marcellus rose to his feet. A standing ovation. Eli's vision blurred. He didn't even realize he was crying until the tears hit the mic. Clara spoke first, voice thick with emotion. Eli, I've heard hundreds of renditions of that song, but I've never heard it like that. You didn't just sing, you bled. Juno sniffled. That was real. Like, goosebumps all over real. Darius nodded, reluctant but impressed. Kid, you took a pop anthem and turned it into gospel. That's talent. That's pain. That's art. Eli smiled weakly. His hands trembled at his sides. Then Marcellus stood, slow, deliberate. The crowd quieted again. Eli, he said, voice gravelly. You remind me why I started doing this. Your mother must be proud. Eli swallowed hard. She always believed I'd make it here. I just wish she could see this. Marcellus walked over to him, surprising everyone, and pulled him into a hug. She just did, he murmured. The crowd erupted. Cameras flashed. Confetti fell. But Eli didn't care about any of that. All he felt was warmth, the kind that reached through grief, through time, through everything. He looked up toward the lights, and for a fleeting moment, he swore he saw her smiling back. 2 days later, Eli sat in his small apartment, the only sound the slow spin of a ceiling fan. His phone buzzed endlessly, interview requests, trending hashtags, messages from friends who hadn't texted him in years. He ignored them all. Instead, he sat at the same chipped wooden table his mom used to sit at when she was writing songs. Her old notebook lay open before him, pages yellowed and curled at the edges. He hadn't opened it in years, not since the funeral. But tonight, something called him back. He flipped through her handwriting, slanted, messy, full of scribbled hearts and unfinished lyrics. Between the pages, a single folded sheet slipped out. He unfolded it carefully. It was a letter. Greater than, Eli, my diamond, it began. If you're reading this, I'm probably not around anymore. But don't cry. Promise me that when it hurts too much to speak, you'll sing. Don't chase perfection, chase truth. Music isn't about being heard. It's about making someone feel less alone. You've always had that gift. Shine, baby. Shine bright. Love, Mom. Eli sat there for a long time, letting the tears fall freely this time. The words blurred, but he could hear her voice as clearly as if she were sitting beside him. He reached for his guitar, dusty from neglect. All right, Mom, he whispered. Let's write something new. He started to play, a gentle melody, simple but full. The kind of tune that wraps around silence instead of fighting it. He sang softly. Greater than, you told me to shine when the sky felt dark. To turn my pain into a spark. And now I see, you're the light in me. The diamond in my memory. The notes drifted out the open window, into the city night. Somewhere far below, a girl walking her dog stopped, looked up, and smiled. A stranger, but touched, just like he'd been touched once. When he finished, Eli leaned back, staring at the ceiling. For the first time since the accident, the grief didn't feel like drowning. It felt like rain, soft, cleansing, alive. His phone buzzed again. This time, he picked it up. A text from Marcellus Grant. Greater than, you've got something, kid. Let's make your mom's song the first track on your album. Eli laughed through his tears. Guess you're getting a record deal after all, Mom. He looked at the Polaroid again, now framed and resting on the windowsill. The moonlight hit it just right, and for an instant, it glowed. He whispered one last time. Shine bright, right. And the night answered with silence, but a warm, peaceful silence. Outside, the city lights twinkled like 1,000 tiny diamonds. And somewhere, if music could reach that far, she smiled.